Hey everybody, how we doing? This is another pre-recorded video, and it is currently Easter, so happy Easter. I hope you guys had a great time with your family, and I wanted to continue to thank you for the support you guys have shown me. I have noticed the increased likes, subscriptions, comments in the videos. I really appreciate it. It means the world to me. Thank you to my friends, family, and the Bleacher Report community as well. This is where it all started. I really appreciate you guys. And today's video, I want to talk about the Tennessee Titans depth chart. And this is before the draft, after free agency, because I don't see us really signing anybody else between now and the draft. And then guys will get cut, and then there'll be like that second round kind of coming through after players get cut in training camp. So this is the depth chart as it stands right now, and where I think we need to go, and what we need to improve on, and what options we have. So we'll go with the offense first. And at quarterback, we have obviously Ryan Tannehill and Malik Willis. There's a good chance that is our QB room. Maybe we take a third quarterback, draft one, or get a depth piece in free agency, or it's just these two. Depends on what they feel like Malik Willis has done in the offseason. I've seen different reports. I've seen that they're not happy. I've seen that they are. I mean, we'll know how they feel with what they do, what their actions are. If we sign another quarterback and we don't draft one, then they don't think Malik Willis is capable of being our backup. If they leave it like this, then we believe Malik Willis is capable of being a backup because Ryan Tannehill was banged up last year. The most likely scenario is these are our two quarterbacks for the year, this upcoming season. Whether I agree with that or not, I don't agree with it, but I feel like that's what it's going to be. There's rumors that we might trade up. I don't know if we will or not. Depends on if the right guy falls to 3 for us to select them. Unless we go out and get Lamar Jackson. I just don't see it happening. I just think it's going to be Ryan Tannehill and Malik Willis. What I'd love to see happen, and I've said it in previous videos, I want to see Tannehill get traded or cut, preferably traded so we get draft capital back for him. And then let's roll Malik Willis. Give him a fair shot. Give him a fair shake. Give him an offense built around his strengths. One that's not coached by Todd freaking Downing. And let's see what the kids got. That's what I want to see happen. But right now we have Tannehill and Willis on the roster. At running back, we have Derrick Henry, the future Hall of Famer. We have Hassan Haskins and Julius Chestnut. Now, you guys are not going to recognize some of these names coming up later on. They're guys that are signed to futures contracts. That either get cut in training camp, maybe they're a practice squad guy, or they make the 53-man roster barely. So that's what, some of these names you're going to barely notice. But I'm sure you guys all know Chestnut. I think he's either practice squad or cut possibly. Hassan Haskins is going to be a good special teamer. I don't think he's going to be a good running back that we want in to complement Derrick Henry. And then obviously Derrick Henry is our star-studded future Hall of Famer at running back. We do need a receiving running back, so whether we bring back Hilliard, maybe he thought he can get a better contract somewhere else this offseason and he hasn't gotten one yet, and we re-sign him, or we get one in the draft. But I do think we need a receiving running back to complement Derrick Henry. So either draft or bring Hilliard back is where I think what we'll do. We'll see what we do in the draft on this one. For wide receiver, Treylon Burks, NWI, Kyle Phillips, Racey McMath, Reggie Roberson, and then Mason Kinsey. Mason Kinsey and Reggie Roberson, practice squad or cut. Don't want to see those guys on the field. Racey McMath, I hope he takes a step forward this year, stays healthy. I would love to see him live up to his potential. He's got prototypical size and speed for an outside receiver. Love for him to stay healthy and show us what he can do, because he was making noise in training camp last year. Just could not get on the field. And at one point, Vrabel was saying he was hoping he gets back at all this season. That's how hurt he was last year. Kyle Phillips, same thing. He was hurt. Let's hope he can stay healthy. He put on some more weight and muscle this offseason in order to stay healthy. We need him to be our slot guy. NWI, I don't want to see him be more than a wide receiver 5. If he's a 4 or a 3 on this team, we are lacking at wide receiver. We brought him back for a 1-year deal. Just hope his role is not what it has been and what it was last year. Treylon Burks, hopefully, is our future wide receiver 1. He showed glimpses last year. He was banged up just like the rest of these guys. We were just riddled with injuries the past 2 seasons, right, everybody? It needs to stop. That sucks. We can't compete. We can't stay healthy. You can't have NWI going out there 1 week as your wide receiver 1 or 2. That's not how you win football games. So we need to definitely address wide receiver. In the draft, maybe I would like to see, if we trade up to number 3, maybe the number 3 pick with the Arizona Cardinals includes DeAndre Hopkins. So we walk away with a quarterback and wide receiver combined and that for the 3 pick, right? That'd be awesome. Let's hope we can do that if that's the move we make was to trade up. Then we come out with Hopkins, a quarterback, and we have Burks. I feel comfortable with that. Or, let's say there's Odell Beckham out there, OBJ. We're not going to get him. He's not going to want to come here. He wants to go somewhere where he's going to get the ball. Unless this offense comes out and surprises me, maybe with Kelly running the offense now, we throw the ball more and act like a modern NFL freaking offense. Just don't see Odell Beckham wanting to come here. Maybe there's been rumors that Mike Evans might get traded from Tampa Bay. Maybe we make a move for him. That seems unlikely, though. I don't know what they would even want for him. Probably a second rounder, if I'd imagine. So we need to draft wide receiver, in my opinion. We need to draft at least 2. So maybe that's Jackson Smith-Njigba at pick 11. Maybe it's Quentin Johnson. We'll see. Addison, maybe. I mean, there's receivers this year. Who knows where they're going to go. Once they start rolling off like they did last year off the board, they're going to go, I feel like, just like they did last year. Somebody takes one, all of a sudden, there's a run on wide receivers. Now people start trading up, and it's going to be interesting for sure what we do receiver, but we need to at least add 2, in my opinion. Tight end, we got Chigakonkwo, Trevon Wesco, Kevin Rader, Thomas Adukoya, and Justin Rigg. Adukoya and Rigg are going to be practice squad or cut. Rader, practice squad or cut most likely as well. Wesco, he is the guy that we just signed. He's going to be our blocker. He is a better blocker than Swaim. We were fed that BS all last year that Swaim is a blocking freaking tight end. No, he's not. And he caught the ball a couple times, but I remember some freaking passes he dropped, right? I'm glad he's off the team. With us signing Wesco, I know he's no longer going to be here. So he's the blocking tight end that we needed. And then we have a Okonkwo, who is our athletic tight end 1. I do think we need to take one more in a draft. And this is a deep tight end draft. It's a perfect draft to address tight end in the middle to late rounds. And we will get a good quality tight end. Or we take one of the top tight ends. As I said, it's a great tight end class this year. We're going to get a guy in tight end this year. I think we draft one no matter what. So I think that's where we go on that. And then that would make our tight end room, and I think pretty solidified and good. Fullback, we don't have one. One is not on the roster. Who knows if we even get one? Modern NFL offenses are not even using fullbacks anymore. Tennessee has not been a modern offense for a long time. So maybe we do get one. I don't know. I just don't see that being a position that we think is going to be a need. Maybe we sign one in free agency. Maybe we don't even use one. Not really concerned about the fullback position. For left tackle, or I'll just do tackles in general because who knows how this line shapes up. But we do think Andre Dillard will be our left tackle. But for tackles, we have Andre Dillard, Andrew Rupkich, MPF, and Jamarco Jones. Now, MPF will most likely be our right tackle, and Andre Dillard will be our left tackle as of right now. Rupkich will either be practice squad or depth. Jamarco Jones, he was hurt all year last year. He can play guard or tackle. Maybe he's a depth piece for us. Maybe he plays right guard for us. But they have him listed on some sites and some depth charts as tackle, some as guard. So, he can do both. Maybe we move him to right guard if he's healthy. He was banged up all last year. So, we don't really got to see what he had, what he's capable of. Maybe he surprises us, right? Maybe he's a gem that we don't even know we have. Highly unlikely. At guard, we have Daniel Brunskill, Zach Johnson. I'm considering Dylan Radins a guard because he has shown us he cannot play tackle. He did okay at left tackle, I would say, a couple times last year, but he got hurt right when we put him in. So I think he's more of a guard, though. I think that's where he's starting to project for. We have Jordan Ruse and then John Leglu. Now, Leglu, most likely practice squad or cut. Ruse, practice squad or depth. Same with Andrew Rupkich, practice squad or depth. And then, Zach Johnson, I should say. So we have Brunskill, left guard. I think he starts at left guard. And then we have Dylan Radins. He's hurt. He was hurt at the end of last year. If he comes back late, not healthy, and playing like he has played, Vrabel does not like this guy, if you guys remember. He does not like him. I mean, we decided to start Dennis freaking Daly at left tackle instead of Dylan Radins. So somebody on that team, and it's got to be Vrabel, does not like Dylan Radins. And he's banged up. He's not going to be healthy towards later in the season. Might as well just count him out as a depth piece for now. So maybe at right, I think Daniel Brunskill is our left guard, and then right guard, maybe it's Jamarco, maybe it's Jordan Ruse. Right guard scares me a little bit, so we got to figure that one out. Center, we have Aaron Brewer, Corey Levin, and Xavier Newman. Newman's depth piece or cut. Levin's probably our backup. And then right now, Brewer is our starting center. And he did sign his tender. So I am nervous with Brewer. He is not big. He's not big. He's not a big guy. Now, maybe that's better for center. I always thought that he was going to end up taking over center after Ben Jones. And now I think he's slated to be our starting center unless we draft somebody. But I don't want to see him at guard. He's too small. If he can be our center, I think we can squeak away with the season, maybe at him being our center. Maybe he surprises us. But I do think we need help. I think this line is better than it was last year, but I do want us to take somebody for interior offensive lineman for sure, unless we go and draft like Paris Johnson Campbell at left tackle. Then we could slide Dillard into guard. Brunskill will be our other guard. And then Brewer center, and then MPF right tackle, or we could have Jamarco Jones compete for the guard spot as well. If we do go that route, I feel better. Or we take a center layer and draft an interior lineman. But we could shuffle these guys around. One thing we've been doing with this offensive line, we've been finding versatile guys, right? Guys that can play all over the line. And I think one of the reasons they're doing that is they're just going to get the best lineman they can, and then we're just going to say, fight for your spot. All right? Let's see where you play out. And I like that approach. Get the best 5 on the field, period. So I do believe we will be drafting offensive linemen. We have to. We need to. At defense, we have, let's just say defense is our best, right? Our offense needs work, if you can't tell. But our defense, we still have some holes. We need some depth pieces. So defense, we're going to start with defensive end. Now, Tennessee rotates their fronts, right? So defensive end, one guy could be playing defensive end one play, and then the next play is moved somewhere else he's lining up over center. We move our guys all around. We want, just like I was talking about with the offensive linemen, we want versatile guys. We want guys that can play all over. But when I say defensive end, these are how they listed on the depth chart. So defensive end, we have Danico Autry, and then Jaden Peavy. Peavy, depth piece or cut. Danico Autry, starter, stud. Love that guy. The Colts killer. I think we need another defensive end for sure in this draft. I think we need to take a defensive end, middle round. Hopefully we can find a quality piece there. Nose tackle, we have Tier Tart, Naquan Jones, and Tyler Shelvin. Now, Shelvin, depth piece or cut. Naquan Jones will be a depth piece. And then Tier Tart, hopefully he signs his tender. He might by the time this video is released. But Tier Tart is... I love that guy. I hope he signs a long-term extension. I like to see him get a 3-year contract. I really would. And I've been saying it for a while. I said on my Simmons video that I think Simmons signing that long-term extension. I think we haven't seen the cap numbers yet as of me recording this video. We've not seen the cap hit this year for Jeffrey Simmons, but I do think it's team friendly for the first year, or trying to say team friendly, but a lower cap hit for the first year, so that we get cap relief because we much need it. And maybe we can sign Tier Tart with some of that money, or free up some money because we need it. So Tier Tart's going to be our starting, definitely a starter. Naquan Jones, depth piece. Defensive tackle, we have Jeffrey Simmons and Curtis Brooks. Simmons, stud, second best, the best interior defensive lineman in the NFL behind Aaron Donald. His contract says that. His play says that. Very much deserved contract that he just got, an extension. Happy for that guy. Happy for him. I have a jersey of a guy that's going to be on the team for the next 5 years. I feel good about that. I feel like I buy him and then he's gone. Happens all the time. Curtis Brooks, he's going to be depth or cut. I think we could improve defensive tackle, get another depth piece there. And like I said, some of these guys rotate. Naquan could be defensive tackle. He's listed as nose tackle, but they could always interchange. But I think we should have another depth piece at defensive tackle and defensive end. Outside linebacker, we have Harold Landry, Rashad Weaver, Zach McLeod, Arden Key, and Sam Aquayanono. I'm not going to say that name again because I just butchered it. He's going to be practice squad or cut. Zach McLeod will be practice squad or depth piece. And then we have Landry coming back off injury. He's going to be a stud for us. Sucks that he gets signed that contract extension last year. Then he got hurt, didn't get a chance to play. He's going to turn it on this year, I feel like. Hopefully he comes back and can play at his former self a little bit. A lot of guys come back a little slow from an injury like that. But he's had over a year by time training camp starts up to get healthy, about a year, because he got hurt very early last year. So we have Landry coming back. We have Rashad Weaver, who showed flashes last year. I had a lot of high hope for him, and he kind of fizzled out, I feel like, towards the end of the year. And then Arden Key, who I am super excited about. Arden Key. Denico Autry is the Colts killer, and Arden Key is going to be the Jags killer for us. He's going to light the Jags up twice a year, every year for the next 3 years. Hopefully longer if he proves that he's worth it and signs another contract extension with us. Great personality. Love the guy. I think we could use maybe one more piece at outside linebacker, but I'm kind of comfortable with this group. I think Landry, Weaver, and Arden Key are definitely quality linebacker spots for us, or players for us. I'm comfortable with that one. If we don't address that, it's not the end of the world. Inside linebacker, we have Monty Rice, Aziz Al-Shair, Jack Gibbons, Chance Campbell, and Luke Gifford. Luke Gifford was signed from Dallas to be the special teams guy. They believe that maybe he can contribute more on defense at linebacker. I think he could too. Then we have Campbell and Gibbons, and we had them last year as well. They could be depth pieces for us for sure. Special teams contributors for sure. I think we keep all these guys. I don't think any of them get cut or go to the practice squad. I think we keep them all on the roster. Maybe Campbell goes to practice squad, but the other four I think start, or not say start, but stay on the team, the starting 53. Aziz Al-Shair, he's going to be the guy I think he's going to be great, right? I think he's one contract, prove it, bring him back maybe if he does. He could be wearing the green dot for us probably. And then Monty Rice, hopefully he takes that next step forward, kind of like David Long did for us, late round pick. Maybe he shows his abilities, special teams, and he's been slowly incorporated in our defense. I like to see him take that next step. We need him to take that next step. So we have Rice and Shair. I really would like to see us draft another linebacker, inside linebacker. I saw Gibbons and Campbell. We saw him a lot last year. Maybe Gifford ends up being from Dallas. Maybe he ends up being a guy that contributes more because they say he can. I could see us taking another piece, though, at inside linebacker. I think we need to. I think we should. We've been interviewing inside linebackers for the draft, meeting with them, so I think we do go inside linebacker at some point. We only have 6 picks, unless we're trading back some of these picks. I mean, we have holes to fill here, guys. At cornerback, we have Christian Fulton, Roger McCreary, Caleb Farley, Chris Jackson, Shaheem Carter, and then the newly acquired Tampa Bay Buccaneer, Sean Murphy-Bunting, who is number 0. So, young cornerback group, but we brought in Bunting, former Super Bowl champion with the Bucs. He's had up and down career. I think, we're going to give him, he's going to be a little bit of a mentor for us. Older guy. He can bring some experience to the locker room, some of that championship mindset caliber to the locker room as well. So then we have Fulton on the outside. Maybe Bunting will be the other outside guy. McCreary on the inside. Avery can be an outside guy. Farley. So, I'm comfortable with those 4 corners. They're young, but, maybe we need to get another corner in draft. But I don't see us drafting a corner this year. I really don't. Not with who we have on this team. We have young talent. I'm hoping that we get the best out of these guys and most out of these guys. We have Caleb Farley, who looks like a bust right now. Can't stay healthy. Thank you, J-Rob, for a first-round pick on this guy. Maybe he gets healthy, turns it around, really puts it together. New coaching for DB this year. I'm excited. So hopefully we can turn that around. We have Chris Jackson and Shaheem Carter. Carter's depth or practice squad could be cut. Chris Jackson, I think, is going to be a depth piece for us. So I think we're rolling into the season with Fulton, McCreary, Avery, Farley, Jackson, and Bunting. So they're young guys. I've seen that in the Bleacher Report community and comments, and I've seen other articles written that we need to really improve on cornerback. I think we do too. But I think our team goes in thinking that we can get the most out of these guys. So as much as I would like to see us draft a corner, I don't think we do. I think this is what we go into the season with. And the reason being is because our safeties are pretty good, right? So that's what I'm getting into next. We have free safety. We have Kevin Byard and Mike Brown. Brown will probably be depth, and then Byard is obviously our stud, our all-pro. I think we're going to be fine here at free safety. I don't see us, making a significant draft for free safety. I don't think it's going to, if anything, it's going to be a day 3 pick for depth, if anything, or somebody in the that gets cut in training camp. For strong safety, we have Amani Hooker. Hopefully he comes back real healthy this year. He was banged up a lot. And then we have Josh Thompson. Josh Thompson will be depth. And then obviously Hooker, like I said earlier, will be our starter. And I could see us maybe day 3 selection there to get some depth or wait for somebody to get cut in training camp. I think safety, we're comfortable with those guys though. As long as Byard and Hooker are there. Byard plays all the freaking time, always on the field. And then Hooker would too if you stay healthy. So I feel comfortable with safeties. Special teams, we have kicker Caleb Shudak. Now, Shudak, he showed promise last year. He's hurt too. We no longer have Fat Randy. Should just call him by his name, Randy Bullock, but Fat Randy sounds better. And Caleb Shudak has a better leg on him. I think we need to draft a kicker in the 7th round. Maybe trade a 7th round in 2024 or some future draft picks to get Moody out of Michigan. That's who I'd really like to see us get before he goes undrafted, and then he can go anywhere he wants. I like to get him. He has a leg on him. I think he can make 60-plus yarders in the NFL, and then he can compete with Shudak, and I think he beats him outright. That's what I'd like to see happen. I see a lot of people saying to bring back our ex-kicker there, and I'm having a brain fart on his name right now. Ryan Suckup. And I don't see that happening. We need a guy that can make over 50-yard kicks. We need somebody, especially the way we play defense and offense. We just can't go that route anymore. I think Vrabel knows that too. We need to get out of that. Punter, Ryan Stonehouse, locked. Stud, we're set. This guy's already got gear in the Hall of Fame, right? He beat out Brett Kern last year. We are set at punter. If there's one thing I'm confident about this year is we are set at punter. But hey, that's the depth chart as it is right now before the draft. I don't really see us adding anybody right now, but from now until the draft. Maybe sign somebody like I'd like to see us sign Tier Tart to a little bit of an extension to see him sign his tender between now and the draft. I think we're focused on the draft right now though, and then we'll see what shakes out after that. But this is our current depth chart, like I said. What do you guys think? Where do we need to improve at? Where should we go into the draft and target? What are you guys most concerned about? Like I said, I'm concerned about the offensive line a little bit, even though I'm comfortable with it going in. I think we could use another piece. I think we could use another 2 wide receivers. I think we could use some defensive line depth, and I think we could use an inside linebacker depth as well. That's what I like to see us target in this draft, and then after training camp cuts as well. What do you guys think, though? Let me know, guys. Thanks. Talk soon.